how to get past a weight loss stall. So first, let's just define what that means. A weight loss stall is when someone's intentionally trying to lose weight and it stops. Now, personally, I like to use like a gauge of about 3 days because we all fluctuate a little bit day to day. So if weight loss just stalls, in relation to the previous day, that's not going to be a really good indicator. So if someone's gone 3 days and no weight has come off, that might be a weight loss stall. So first, we want to clear some of the more common reasons. The number one most common reason for a stall has to do with water retention. And there's a lot of different things that cause water retention. You'll want to evaluate, have you been drinking enough water? Dehydration will cause water retention. Have you been eating more salt recently? That could potentially be causing water retention. Has there been more stress? Even this cortisol hormone can cause water retention. And for women, if it's around your monthly cycle, that can also cause some water retention. So if you get past that, you already determined it's not water retention. The second thing to check for is, are you emptying completely? I did another video on constipation and how that impacts weight. Definitely, I have my 3 different ways to fix that. So check out that video if you think that might be the problem. So if you cleared those first 2 things, you don't believe it's water retention, and it's not from constipation, it might be a true weight loss stall. Now, a true weight loss stall in someone who's dieting, meaning they're lowering their caloric intake, is likely due to a process called adaptive thermogenesis, which simply means that the dieting itself is causing the metabolism to slow down. Now, the fix for this is to start to vary the amount of calories that someone's eating day to day. It's called feed cycling, or a more popular term that you might have heard is carb cycling. The reason why carbs are most frequently used in this is because carbohydrates cause your body to release a hormone called leptin, and leptin triggers more fat burning. Now, there's no hard and fast rule for carb cycling. You can try it 1 day a week, you can try it a couple days a month. You're going to have to experiment a little bit with it to see what's going to work. But the idea behind carb cycling is to have certain days where you're eating over what you normally would be eating for weight loss and getting a majority of those extra calories from carbohydrates. Could you get those carbohydrates from breads, pastas, pastries, all those really good things? Sure. A healthier way to go about it is probably to stick to carbohydrates from vegetables and fruits. Now, what I like to do with my clients is something that I call reverse carb cycling. And what that means is, instead of having days where you go through a higher caloric intake, it's going through 1 day where you have a much lower caloric intake. And what that does is, when you go back to your normal weight loss caloric intake the next day, in relation to that lower calorie day, it is higher. So we would still consider that a cycle. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do that. One of my favorite methods we call a steak day, where essentially you choose a big old steak, 6-ounce, 9-ounce steak. And the idea is you go that whole day only eating that steak and maybe a medium-sized tomato. You can eat it all in one shot at dinner time, or you can chop it up and spread it out throughout the day, whatever works easier. And then the next day, go right back to whatever you'd normally be eating on your weight loss plan. I'm really interested in hearing if anyone else has any other ways that have helped them break their plateaus. Make sure to drop a comment.